off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and the NBC Sports Radio station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker, and more. I'm Dr. Marissa, your hashtag positively opinionated host, and I am here streaming live out of my loving room, one of those hashtag COVID silver linings that happened. And for that, I am grateful. I don't have to drive all the way out to the IE and just enjoy my time here on the beach. So today, Curtis Bird was the planned guest, and he had a time schedule, artists and all of that, but we'll have him back on. So instead of giving myself a day off, I thought I'd come and bring you a really great interview that I got to do with I Love Lucie's daughter. So Lucie married Desi Arnez, had a child. Her name is Lucie Arnez, Lucie, and she came for an interview to support something that is I'm a sponsor for them. I absolutely will not talk about problems we have unless I bring you some solutions. So when it comes to homelessness, yes, it is a problem that we can seem to continue to have. However, instead of, every time you drive by someone who's homeless or you see an encampment and shaking your head and saying, this is terrible, or somebody's got to do something about this. I brought you, I guess 3 years ago, thanks to Harlan, a group that is making a difference in San Diego. They are taking homeless youth off of the streets. And for that, it's been, I think this is my third year now or fourth year, bringing Jeffrey Sitkoff, who is the founder of Doors of Change. And it's an organization really that is doing the work and has the support of people like Billy Joel and Elton John, who donate signed guitars, signed musical instruments, signed records. And that's one of the ways they raise money at their annual function, which is this Saturday. So I am highlighting that interview again. Lucie Arnez was a delight, and I wanted to share her with you. So that's what we're doing today. And before I bring that to you, I just wanted to do a quick breakfast. So taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. What are you grateful for? I see eyeballs rolling in. Feel free to go in the chat and write it down. And I'll just do real quick. I'm grateful that technology, when it works, allows me to stream from anywhere in the world. I did debate on whether I wanted to stream from China, but it would have been in the middle of the morning. So I said, you know what, I'm going to give myself a little hiatus. But this is show number 1,192 after 698. No, 600. Anyways, consecutive weeks on the earth. Welcome to the show. I am grateful that is true, that those who said I wouldn't last a year because I was talking about good news, not just the little bit of good news at the end of a broadcast, but the entire broadcast is about what's right with this world, what's right with people, and solution. I am grateful that the sun is shining today. I am solar powered. And finally, I am grateful that everybody knows this is a place to come and be edified and supported, and that I know who you are, that you are one of a kind, wonderful, and I will know that until you can. So that's what I'm grateful for. You can tell I'm Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, who just had a birthday, and Stevie Wonder came and sang happy birthday for him. Oh, I got a heart. Thank you for that. You know that I'm a student and his little sister because of the words that I speak, and because I'm a student and a leader that was born out of Agape. We don't do cults. We're not followers, but we do honor our teachers. All right. What do you like about yourself? That's the bottom of the button when I say take a bite of my gratitude sandwich at the top of every show. I do this because I believe it's my BS, my belief system, that mental health starts with a good self-care, self-soothing, self-love, and not by looking for approval from other people, which is a trap we can get into, going around looking for who likes me. And with social media, it's like literally who likes me. That's not what I want you to do. I want you to affirm who you are and look at the good in you instead of looking at the negative things. So at the end of the day, I'm modeling for you now. I want you to put your head on the pillow and think about all the things you did do instead of forgot to do or didn't get time to do, all the ways in which you are good instead of the criticisms or the revenge you want on those who did you wrong. So that is how I love to start it. And let's see. Oh, yay, Nikki's here. Welcome to the show. She's grateful to be present for some of this before I head into the office. Well, I'm delighted that you are here, Nikki. Nikki is a wonderful streamer, a loyal. I get to see her Sunday mornings when I stream, and I know one day she'll be on site to get a big hug. All right. I am now going to move to, let's see if I can share this, to an interview that I did. I'm trying to remember when this happened. I think it was this. This was the Lucie Arnez interview, and Jeffrey Sitkoff is going to explain what Doors of Change does. And I'm really encouraging you to come meet me in San Diego this Saturday. I need a date. So if you're single and successful and sexy and smart, that's Fran Drescher's S's. Hers is also straight. I guess mine would be too when she came on, by the way, as a guest promoting Cancer Schmancer. Some of you may know her as the nanny, but you don't get on my show because of TV. You get on my show because you're doing something to take your limelight and shine it on areas of temporary darkness. So, boy, I really went on a slant there. But what do Lucie Arnez and Fran Drescher have in common? They do shine their limelight on things that are need some attention. So I'm encouraging you, if you have nothing to do on Saturday, go to doorsofchange.org. I'll put that in the chat in a second, and support this fabulous organization. And I am going to see if I can pull this up here. All right.
Live with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, CNBC News, and NBC Sports. KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Tiki Live, Amazon Music, GeoSound, Podchaser, and Rumble. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So I have topics and guests and special series to that end. If you missed my show with the Waltons, you can get that on my YouTube channel. Free subscribe there. And you will be tuned into my daily morning show here where Asian Oprah has you focus on your own reality show. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kanye talk, no Kardashian talk, but just talk about you and how we can make this world a better place. And I'm so delighted that this morning I have none other than the daughter of Lucie Arnez. Lucie Arnez, she's an entertainer and an advocate and supporter of the Doors of Change. And I have the founder as well of Doors of Change. You will remember him from coming here, I guess a year ago, Jeffrey Sitkoff. And we're going to have some fun. I'm going to give you a fuller introduction after we do our gratitude exercise. And Jeffrey, I'm hoping that you remember this. Lucie was kind enough to say, I will participate. And it's a breakfast, having breakfast with us, taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So the top of the bun is 8 specific gratitudes. What are we grateful for outside of ourselves? And then on the bottom of the bun, it's what are 8 things that we appreciate about ourselves. So collectively, we'll get 2 each. I'll start. I am grateful for the fact that we're getting rain in California. As much as I'm not crazy about rain, it is good for us. And I'm glad that it is raining outside right now. What are you grateful for? Let's go to Lucie.
Do I have to come up with 8 or is that just one?
Just one. Collectively 8.
It's sort of hard to only just come up with one, almost as hard as trying to come up with the perfect 8. But, you know, I am grateful that I have a beautiful family that keeps me going every single day, fresh in my mind and seeing the planet in different ways. And they keep me understanding what I need to be putting my energies toward. And that keeps me young and involved.
Fantastic. Jeffrey, your turn.
I'm so grateful for my health, the health of my wife, and my loved ones. You know, you never so blessed to have our loved ones that have our
Lucie, you want to tell him?
Jeffrey, we can't hear you. It's just breaking up like crazy. Couldn't understand anything past health and wife. And then it went.
Yes. So we'll continue on as Jeffrey adjusts. And if you could close out any other audio device, maybe there's the computer that's on, or close out the windows, and Lucie and I will finish off the the gratitudes while he does that. I love my life. I'm grateful that we have technology that is incredible when it works, allowing us to broadcast from anywhere in the world, and even when it just doesn't want to cooperate. Sarcasm included. It's a service that I offer. Lucie, what are you grateful for?
Humor. I'm grateful for our ability to laugh at stuff like this, because you can't get upset. It's just goofy. It's crazy. And to think we've tried to do this interview several times. And I
refuse to take it personally. I have not said it just means it's not meant to be, because I refuse to believe that.
No, it's meant to be this way.
Yes.
Whatever
Yes.
this is.
Shift happens. I'm grateful that the planets did not crash into each other last night. So we have another day to laugh, to create, to innovate, and appreciate. You go ahead.
I'm grateful I got a chance to go to Africa. I had a chance to travel way across the other side of the universe and see a whole other culture and be very moved by what I saw and have an opportunity, like what we're doing with Doors of Change, to help all those things you think you can't do. I can't do anything about that. Oh my God, it's so far away. And then you go, yes, I can. Oh, look what I can do. I can do this. It was great.
Wonderful. And Jeffrey, you want to come in with the last gratitude?
I'm so grateful that we can help others have a better life.
Fantastic. Now we're going to go to the bottom of the bun, which is, what do you like about yourself? And the reason why I do this is a lot of us are walking around going, who loves me, who appreciates me, who likes me, literally with the likes now on social media. And that just causes us to go looking for love in all the wrong places. And so I want us to strengthen our muscle on how we approve of ourselves so that criticism and even compliments don't whack us around. So what do you appreciate about yourself? I'll start. I love my ability to just keep on trucking. That's one of my secret sauce skills. Lucie, what do you like about yourself?
Yeah, I was kind of going to say a similar thing. Just I think that what I like best about myself is that I don't take anything too seriously for too long. And I'm kind of my dad always used to say, there must be a way. And I sort of look at life like that. Like when it gets, difficult, I just go, okay, all right, there's got to be a way to fix. There must be a way, and don't lose your cookies over it. So tenacity and patience.
Perfect. Although whenever anyone thanks me for being patient, I look over my shoulder to see who they're talking to. Because that's not in my vocabulary. All right, Jeffrey, what do you appreciate about yourself?
I appreciate about myself that when I put my mind to something, I do not give up until I get that achieved. Especially helping others, that's the most important as far as I'm concerned.
Fantastic. And I'm just going to cut that short. We're going to finish that. The reason I do 8, Lucie, by the way, is 8's a lucky number in Chinese. I know you thought I was Swedish.
I did.
It's a homophone for good fortune.
Okay.
So that's why I do that. Fantastic. Now, let me see, because I just had eye surgery yesterday. Am I still on camera?
Yes, you are.
Perfect. Because I blew the intro up so that I could see it.
Right.
Here we go. Recently, 7 of America's most recognized TV moms gathered, including Mary and Ross, who I've been so fortunate to have on my show from Happy Days, Jane from Malcolm in the Middle, Kaz Marak, Karen Grasfi from Little House on the Prairie, June Lockhart, Lassie, Lost in Space, Eileen Graff, Mr. Belvedere, and Dee Wallace, who's also been on my show, the new Lassie, and most recently, Michael Learned was also on my show from the Waltons. And they came together to support the Doors of Change to help the homeless youth in America. Previously, an impressive roster of celebrated performers, including Elton John, Billy Joel, the Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen, Carlos Santana, Tony Bennett, and Three Dog Night either participated in the performance or sent their signed keyboards or guitars. And I got to be part of that. And hold on one second. Jeffrey, your mic is still spitting a bit. So let me turn you for a second. But all of the, and I got to go see Three Dog Night, and it was an amazing time getting to watch them and all the money we raised there. And I'm so proud that I continue to be a massive supporter. And that's why these two incredible beings are on the show with me again today. Now, Doors of Change is thrilled to add a woman with a truly undisputed Hollywood legacy, Lucie Arnez, who you see on camera now, to the family of advocates for homeless youth. She's the daughter of Hollywood's most influential and beloved parents. Lucie herself has made her own mark in both Broadway. They're playing our song, Dirty Rotten Scoundrel, Witches of Eastwick. Oh, I didn't know about that one. As well as TV, the Lucie Arnez Show, Sons and Daughters. Here's Lucie, in addition to performances at the Academy Awards and at the White House and so much more. Today, she's speaking out on behalf of those whose voices are not being heard, homeless youth across the country. She's chosen to do so with the Doors of Change, which has not only proven their success with youth in San Diego, but helped member and create outreaches in Chicago, Buffalo, DC, among others. There is so much out there in the world that needs attention that can be overwhelming. I'm starting in my own backyard and hoping for a ripple effect. Think globally, but act locally, says Lucie Arnez. And what better place to start than with our own youth? So first of all, please welcome to my studio, Lucie Arnez. And now I'm going to introduce the man that you actually have seen before. His name is Jeffrey Sitkoff. He's the president and founder of Doors of Change, also known as Photo Charity. In the past, for over 20 years, Jeffrey's been leading an amazing group of committed volunteers to help homeless youth ages 17 to 25 get off the streets of San Diego, and now in 13 different states. Over this time, the group has helped place over 2,300 homeless youth, and I know that number is way up, and we'll talk about that, into long-term safe housing, and developed an award-winning music and arts program in Ocean Beach. Has benefited more than 8,300 homeless youth. Elton John and all those other people that I just mentioned have been phenomenally involved. He's received awards locally and nationally, including the San Diego Channel 10 Leadership Award, Torrey Pines Bank Circle of Excellence Award, La Mesa Rotary Peacemaker of the Year Award, and the Jewish Family Services Volunteer of the Year Award. He was also a semifinalist in the National Volvo for Life Award. Please welcome to my studio back again, Jeffrey Sitkoff. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of affirmation. And that is, I'm so delighted to have you both. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed that this is going to go. This is how much I've wanted you on my show, Lucie and Jeffrey, is we've tried and it's happening. And I'm so grateful. So first of all, tell me why this is such an important thing for you, Lucie, because you could be really supporting so many other things. You mentioned backyard, but what about this particular program tugged at your heartstrings?
I think just the fact that it's about youth, and I'm particularly, sensitive, I guess, to the plight of young people, when I realized that a lot of them didn't get to choose their circumstances, and whether they come from homes with drug addicted parents, abuse, or they're found out that they're gay, and their parents go, get out. It's just children. It's a very moving thing. I don't know. I had a pretty good growing up period, but I do understand not having parents around and what happens when that happens. My parents were great, but they were busy all the time, so they weren't there a lot. And I have children of my own. I have 5 kids, 3 of my own and 2 stepchildren. And at various times of their growing up period, they're all adults now, but they went through stuff, and some of them had to be on the street in order to figure out what life was really going to be for them. And I got a chance to experience what that was like by, real circumstances that were very close to home. So I can only imagine every time I see some young kid that's floundering and has nowhere to go, it just breaks my heart. I didn't think I could do anything about it. It's a huge, huge problem, as you know, and it's global. It's not just local here where we are. But tell the universe what you want and be specific. If you even just put it out there a little bit in your mind, like, God, I wish I could help. You sort of just say it, you mean it, but you don't do much about it. Funny how things happen after that. Like, our mutual friend Harlan Bowl, who's a public relations person and has been pro bono helping Doors of Change for a while, called me and said, would you be interested at all in getting together with Jeffrey Sitkoff? And he runs this great organization, and it's homeless youth in the San Diego, Southern California area. And I thought, wow, that's incredible, because wasn't I just sort of talking about that? And so, as the song says, when opportunity comes your way, say yes. And I said yes. I said, I don't know what I can do. I'm not a philanthropist. We don't own I Love Lucy. Let's just start with that. And I've been a theater person on a theater person's salary most of my life. We're doing concerts, and that's what I do for a living. So my donations monetarily would not make a huge, big difference, but maybe my notoriety might. And if I can use it that way, that's a good way to use it. So here I am.
Fantastic. And I'm so grateful that you are. And I love the fact that you want to help in the way you can. I am a little surprised that you don't own that.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that, but
most people are surprised. They think I'm a very wealthy person, but I would own Viacom by now. No, my father and mother sold it back to CBS in 1957, like before they even finished the show, in order to make enough money to buy a studio so they could get their company, Desilu Productions, bigger. And they bought RKO Studios at that time. And they did. They became the largest television producing company in the country, in the world. And but so they no longer, after that, they didn't own anything that has to do with I Love Lucy. They retained my mother's image in the show. So we own the image and likenesses of her as Lucy Ricardo and a portion of him as Ricky, but that's only for like merchandise and stuff. But yeah, we don't own the show. And a lot of people think that I do and that I've had a silver spoon in my mouth since birth, but no, it's true. I make my living just like everybody else.
And you do it well. You were sold out just recently.
I love what I do, and I chose to go into the theater mostly. I've done a few movies and a few television series, but mostly my life has been theater or concerts in the last 30 years. It's been a lot of concerts, and it's not the kind of thing that is nationally broadcast, nationally written about, and yet I work all the time. So a lot of people don't know what I do, because if I haven't come to their town, they haven't read about it, they don't know what I'm doing, and it's interesting. I make CDs and make music, and I just love what I do. So that's why when you said, what do you want underneath your name? And I said, entertainer, because basically whatever it is, if I'm singing, I'm dancing, I'm acting, it's all entertaining, isn't it?
Right. Well, you've got two trees that you didn't fall far from.
It didn't hurt. I got a lot of good people to watch and to be inspired by. Plus, they loved what they did so much that they did it all the time, which is why they weren't home a lot, But they loved it, and they brought joy to other people. And I always tell my kids, if you pick something to do with your life that makes other people happy, then that's good. Then you got it made, because you get up every morning and be glad for what you're going to go out and do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got 3 people in a row here that are fortunate to feel that way.
Yeah.
And my wish is that everybody does definitely for that. Yeah. So great, Jeffrey. Remind people in a short summary of how you got involved, because I asked him in our first interview, did you know you were going to do this when you grew up or when you were young? Was this something that was on your bathtub list, which is bigger than a bucket list?
Well, I specialize in making lemonade out of lemon, and I was a physical therapist for many years. I had a spinal cord injury. Decided, what was I going to do to my next chapter? I'm not just going to sit in the house. What I was going to do, and I just kept back to saying helping youth, because youth today are in trouble. The energy is bad in youth right now. I'm a healer, being a physical therapist for 18 years, and I sense the energy in them. And you saw the Columbine shooting, the Santee shooting, all the escalation of violence. I just said there's got to be a different way for these youth, to have a better life. And so that's how I got into at least looking at what I was going to do to help youth. I had no idea about homeless youth, but I went on outreach one night to see how they actually meet homeless youth, how they affect them as far as helping them. And that one experience, it blew my mind. And that was over 21 years ago now. And I've been doing this ever since. I made a commitment that evening on the beach and Pacific Beach. These are the youth I have to help. And so we've helped a lot of youth, thank God. We've helped about 15,000 homeless youth over 21 years get services and supplies, et cetera, resources. But we're most proud because we helped over 2,600 now get safe housing.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Now, I know that things have changed a little because of COVID. Do you want to give us a little update on that?
Sure. You know, COVID changed everything. It shut down our award-winning music and art program we had for 18 years. And we said, okay, we have to help these. How are we going to do it? And so we just kept, thinking outside the box. And we came up with what's called the Homeless Youth Advocacy Program, where we're advocates for these youth. We really are, because they don't have active parents. They're so dysfunctional. They have no parents, basically. And so we started doubling the amount of outreach that went on the street to 4 days a week to looking for homeless youth. The thing is now, since COVID, they've changed tremendously, because you used to be able to see youth all the time out in groups of people, groups of youth. Now you don't see them at all. They're hidden. They're afraid about the pandemic, because if they get the virus, they could die. They have a very bad immune system compromised. And so, they're very freaked out about the pandemic. And so we said, okay, we still got to get a hold of these youth. So we started putting up posters everywhere about what we do, what we can offer them, thousands of posters throughout the city. And the result has been absolutely unbelievable. In the last 3 years, we have doubled in most of our services amount of youth that we've helped, including housing. So we went from 161 youth 2 years ago, which was a record. This year, 349 youth we found housing for, 188 more than the year before. So
Hold on, I had to give the applause. That's unforking believable. You doubled. COVID usually brings things down. I don't know how you did that. Well, I kind of know how that happened. If you can tell, Jeffrey's not a person that just gives up. And the ability for him to have all the big names that you have behind you that have contributed guitars and things like that, that's truly amazing. And I'm sort of answering the question I'm going to ask Lucie. Again, what was it that drew you to not just, you're heartbreaking when you see them. There's a lot of places that say they do things. So what was it that you knew that this was something you wanted to support?
It was Harlan. It was Harlan Bowl, because if someone you know and you trust, and he's never, sent me down a wrong road, it's never done anything where I said, oh God, why did you get me involved in that? That's never happened. So it was truly, that's networking. If you know a friend who knows a friend, and he said, this is a terrific organization. Let me send you some information on it. And if it moves you, if it touches you in any way, I can tell you they do great work. Well, that's all I really need to know. I mean, this thing, when I just said I just went to Africa, we're opening a scholarship for these kids who can't afford to go to this one little school in this tiny little town, and their parents, they walk to school. Like, they're 4 years old. They walk on the streets on these crazy roads with the animals. You can't even believe the kind of poverty that they have. And how do you start taking care of them unless there's at least one person you can trust, right? One person who can open the bank account, one person who can make sure that the kids are actually getting the money that you're doing. And so I trusted Harlan, and he trusted Jeffrey. And so here I am. I believe in what they're doing, and they've been doing it a long time, and they're making a difference. And it's the kind of thing that I like doing, just like I liked opening that little school, because there's only a few of us who are actually supporting these kids. I mean, we're very hands-on, and he's working in a small area, and you can keep an eye on it, and it's doable. It doesn't get so big that you lose track of what you're involved in. And that kind of thing I appreciate. Like I said, think globally, but act locally. It's local. Mm-hmm. You can check up on it,
Right. For sure. Now, what is the difficulty right now in so why did you move to advocacy in terms of, you used to have just an arts and music program? And I know the answer to this. I'm trying to set you up because I think that people, when it comes to homelessness, as you mentioned, Lucie, it's this giant thing. You start thinking about it and it's just like, people are trying to find the solution and it's just so overwhelming. So what bothers me is when I see people click their tongues or shake their heads, homeless, and all that. And then there's not enough compassion to do anything. Or if there's some compassion, what do I do? Like bring people in from the street into my home? What? I know someone who they feel helpless, but they do bring water. So anytime they see a homeless person, they give them a bottle of water.
Can do. Teddy Roosevelt once said, "You do what you can with what you have, with where you are." And I think that's really great advice. You do what you can with what you have, with where you are. And doing that, I actually took a homeless person into an empty condo that I had for a while before I put furniture in it. And it was so hot outside, people were dying in the streets in Palm Springs. And this guy was pouring water over his head. And I said, "Excuse me, do you want to take a shower and just be in air conditioning for a night?" And I thought he could kill me on the way to the apartment, right? I don't know, but I took a shot. I believed in. I went with my gut. So you can do stuff like that. I mean, it's not something you could do every day, maybe, but you do what you can with what you have. I had a place, and I thought, if he runs away or there's nothing to steal, it's empty. How bad could it be, And he was so grateful. His name was Peter, and he left me a little note and said how grateful he was. And he only stayed one night. He didn't. I said, "You can stay a week if you want. No one's here." He stayed one night, and he left me a lovely note, shut the door, and put the key under the rock that I told him to put it under. So it's, it's kind of wonderful to move out there and just connect. Only connect. Isn't that what they say,
Yeah.
And Mother Teresa, she often said, if I hadn't stopped for that one man, if I hadn't stopped for that first one, I never would have done all the things I did. You have to start somewhere.
Yeah. Great points.
Which I'd like to bring up. Firstly, most of these youth are not homeless by choice. They don't want to be homeless. So that's very people understand. Their parents are so that they have to get out of the house. It's not safe for them, number one. Number two, you talked about trust quite a bit. And these kids don't trust anybody. I think the reason that we have been so successful is because when they're coming to us now, they actually contact us that they need help. Instead of us going to them now because of the posters, they're actually coming to us and saying, I want to get a laptop. I want to get a cell phone. I want help. Can you help me? And so we carry our phone 24/7. In the morning, we have one of 3 staff that takes the phone at all times. That's a different thing because then they realize, hey, we really are there to help them. And so once they trust you, they want to get help, and they're motivated to hopefully have a better life than what they have. And that's why we've been blessed to have so many youth that have succeeded in our program.
Absolutely. Do you mind if I show that little video of Doors of Change?
Sure.
I think that's a really helpful explanation. Let me see if I can get this to play. Here we go.
The thing that made me leave home when I was 12 that was so bad was my new stepfather. He started to abuse me physically, emotionally, mentally, would call me names, drag me by my hair, hit me, kick me. He was basically torturing me.
On the streets is quite difficult and near impossible to trust people, really, because they were always looking out for themselves. I had to do the same, look out for myself.
The longest time period I didn't eat for was probably like 3 days.
I was chain smoking cigarettes for warmth. I figured the heat from the smoke, would keep me warm for the night.
I slept in a lot of crazy places. I would sleep on park benches in parks. I slept on the beach a lot. I eventually had a tent. Well, there was one night I slept in a dumpster on top of a piece of cardboard. Thankfully, it wasn't trash day.
I was able to sleep in front of anybody, no matter what. It was like, hey, if they kill me, they kill me. You know, if they were trying to rob me, they robbed me. It's like, that's just what it was.
I would perform in the streets to get some money. I would just do tricks with a soccer ball.
The toughest thing about being homeless is the loss of hope and trying to hold on to that.
I first heard of Doors of Change through outreach. Jeff was walking around doing outreach.
We're going on outreach, which we've done now for 18 years, twice a week, trying to find homeless kids between the age primarily of 16 to 25. When we find them, we ask them if they'd like to come to a music and arts program. They get free music lessons, free art, free dinners, free food, free clothes, case management, whatever they would like. We've seen now over 7,300 visits now in 6 years.
The staff of Doors of Change are kind. They're always in a great mood. They're always asking to help anyway. It's really nice. It feels like a family.
Doors of Change has helped me because I was homeless at 17 because my biological dad got involved and he punched me in the face repeatedly. And now I'm about to graduate from college, computer engineering. Homeless, degree. Pretty clear line.
It's really important that people that are able to donate to Doors of Change can provide the financial support that we need to continue to provide opportunities for these kids, whether it be music instruments, referrals, life skills, you know, anything that they need help with. They need a lot of support. And even if it's just $5, I mean, really anything can help these kids. And the bigger the donation, the more children are going to end up with opportunities like me that they can make something of themselves and make an impact in this world. And that's why it's so important that we have donors. They really make the whole organization run.
Oof. You can't watch that without crying. I don't know. That just gets me every time.
Yeah, it got me again. And let's see if there we go. Dang, I just got to do this. I gave it to you last time, but I got to give it to you again. And I've never given it to you, Lucie. Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award goes to Jeffrey again and Lucie Arnez.
I love thank you.
And I'm not supposed to cry because of the eye surgery.
Oh no, is that what they said? Probably good. It's washing it. It's good.
No, I never apologize for crying because tears are the disinfectant that keep our hearts soft. So thank you for my cleansing today. And really, Jeffrey, I mean, I have a lot of people because I'm a solutions show, so I bring people on, you know, who are doing something. But I have to say, I'm so proud to be, you know, a supporter of Doors of Change because truly, you do make such a difference. Salvation Army, you, and Long Beach Rescue Mission are the three organizations that I have actually seen with my own eyes a progression of help that isn't about, you know, let's make a lot of money and then it goes to I see the salaries when they publish the CEO of some of these nonprofits and it's like, are you kidding me? Like, don't tell me that you're really making a difference. If you're making that much money, you're not really making a difference because, so thank you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
And I've got some good news for you, ladies. So who you saw in there, the African-American that spoke, he now has a young child, Theo, and he just got a raise. So he's making over $100,000 as an engineer. And he is just doing so great. And Justine, who spoke, is graduating law school in 30 days.
Oh my gosh. That's so wonderful.
Hold on.
love that. Love that.
So the next show we do for Doors of Change, you're going to bring those two individuals on, Jeffrey. Okay.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So how do people support Doors of Change? I mean, that's obviously the call to action to start with. And are there any plans for another benefit?
Yes. Well, number one, yes, there are plans for another benefit. I'm actually been the last 2 months negotiating for headliners. So we will have a headliner hopefully within a month, and it'll be in the end of the summer probably. But the reason is for, people say I'm touched by this. What can I do to help? Because of the economy, some people are not doing well, and it's difficult for a lot of people. We started a thing called the California Angel permission to trademark the Angel. So for $11 a month at a minimum.
Okay, say that again. How much a month?
A minimum of $11 a month or more. If you can do $50, $20, whatever you can do, but
minimum of 11. Yeah.
That's nothing. That's $11 a month is one Starbucks a month. Right? So, and what is it called again? It cut out just a bit. Angel
team. You join our Angel team.
Angel team. Okay.
Yeah.
And it is actually part of the Angels?
No. They gave it to trademark the name. So that name is ours now. We've trademarked Angel Team.
Nice.
And you go to doorsofchange.org, Doors Girl, and make a donation of $11 or more per month, because the recurring monthly thing really helps us a lot. That people giving us monthly money, it makes a big difference. So whatever anybody can afford, we appreciate you'll be on our team.
Great. I'm going to pull up the website right now. And this is
And I hope you enjoyed that spotlight interview with Lucille Balls and Desi Arnez's daughter, Lucie Arnez, who is a wonderful supporter of the Doors of Change. And it is this Saturday, as you can see, the Concert of Hope, starring 3-time Grammy winner Casey and the Sunshine Band. And yes, I'm ageless, so but I'm sure you remember their music. If you are ageless as well, I'll be there on the carpet and interviewing people and enjoying the VIP treatment. Please go to doorsofchange.org and get some tickets and meet me there. I'm actually looking for a VIP date. So if you purchase a VIP ticket, you can be my date for this Saturday. The doors open for the VIP reception at 4:30, and then main doors open at 7:30. So thanks for joining me today as I spotlight and highlight a very worthy cause. This is very close to my heart. Thank you, Harlan. You mentioned his name as one of the reasons why Lucie joined this. And I know that a number of my past guests are and continue to be supporters. Potsy and Ralph Mal from Happy Days. You know them as Anson Williams and Don Most, who've been on my show multiple times. I'm so grateful that there is a you know, I just love actors who take their, you know, limelight and spread it on areas like this, homelessness, and taking homeless youth off of the streets. And I so appreciate Jeffrey Sitkoff, all the work he's doing. So please don't shake your head anymore at the plight of the homeless. You can do something. You can go to the website doorsofchange.org, as I've got up here, and there's so many ways. The most pressing time one, they don't have a lot of tickets left. They have a lot of tickets that are, you know, out in the yard, on the lawn area, and I'm so grateful that Jeffrey gave 4 tickets to give away for the Asian Opera giveaway, which are done as well. But you can go and support Doors of Change. All right, that is your good life habit, positive contribution, being a beneficial presence on the planet. That is your opportunity. Thanks for tuning in to take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind, home to the Asian Opera, #1 talk in the IE. And remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Tune in tomorrow for Doctors in the House. And we're going to talk about empathy and compassion, and we are one, or are we? That will be a fun topic to talk about. Thursdays is Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa, and we're going to have a guest co-host as James is doing some of his acting stuff. And then Friday, the Hollywood Rebel Report with Ricky Rebel. And we're going to finish off the treatment of looking at how you get through and over trauma that happens to you when you have an interaction that isn't pleasant with spirituality or religion. And we'll finish that off, and looking forward to that. All right. In the meantime, go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.
Are you?
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa.